Good afternoon and a warm welcome to today's webinar to each and every one of you from wherever you have joined. To those of you who are attending our webinar for the first time, let me give you a brief introduction. This webinar is brought to you by the Partner Customer Connect initiative of IDS Next. We have the best of breed partner solutions integrated, certified, and listed on our marketplace. You could visit www.idsnext.com/marketplace to see the list of integrated solutions that we offer by categories. Today we have a very interesting topic, and that's about the impact of generative AI in the hospitality industry. From this session, you will gain insights from a renowned industry expert with Google's perspective of AI in hospitality. You will understand real-world applications of generative AI, making it easier to implement within your hotel. You will learn revenue-boosting strategies that can have immediate and long-term impact on your bottom line. You can acquire knowledge that can help you enhance guest satisfaction and loyalty. Position your hotel for success in an increasingly tech-driven industry. I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today, Praful K. Sharma. He is the infrastructure modernization specialist at Google. Praful is a fintech specialist at Google with over 13 years of deep technical expertise in domains like Google Cloud Platform, generative AI, LLMs, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics. He has deep tech expertise in designing, implementing, and architecting cloud solutions for various clients in APAC and EU, and has multiple certifications from Google Cloud Platform, GCP. I'd also like to introduce you to our next speaker, Shruti. She's the marketing manager at Experium by RepUp. Her expertise is in CRM, social media marketing, and diverse marketing skills, drives brand visibility, lead generation, and sales. With experience in GEM, NPD, PR, and more, her passion for startups fuels her drive to learn, explore, and collaborate with diverse teams. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have our two speakers. And in today's session, you will have as an agenda in an introduction to generative AI, the role of AI in enhancing customer experience, generative AI applications in hospitality industry, case studies with real-world impact, future trends and challenges. This will be followed by a Q&A session where, like Tanya said, you can unmute your microphones and ask questions, or you can also use the chat to ask questions. And last but not the least is the feedback and the closing session. I would now like to invite Shruti to take over the session. Shruti, over to you. If you're on mute, you need to unmute Shruti.
Hi, everyone. So let's start with before we start to talk about generative AI and hospitality, let's talk about the dictionary definition of generative AI. So we can really say that it's a form of artificial intelligence which helps you to create content, whether it's images, text, audios, or synthetic data, any type of data you need to go for. So for simple examples, we have been continuously using ChatGPT, generative AI of Google, and DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is something which people use for images. Then Google AI we have been using for different kind of content generation, whether it's social media posts and whether it's email. So we'll talk about it in detail. So if we talk about generative AI in hospitality, it's not a choice for hotels anymore. It's a necessity. And it has been shown that guests who are getting personalized recommendations or who are using AI for their mobile apps or systems, they prefer those hotels more. According to a research from Accenture, you can see that 85% guests are most likely to book a hotel which provide them with personalized recommendation. Suppose you are traveling to Dubai and you are looking out for desert safari or camel rides. If you stay in a hotel that helps you out with that, it shows that you will be likely visiting that hotel again. Or from Hotel Tech Networking Group, there was a survey which said that 70% guests appreciate the use of AI or mobile app for contactless check-in and check-out. So that has been one thing as well. So if we talk about generative AI, we are using it in our everyday lives every day. It's not a futuristic concept which people think. Whether you are using simple apps like Swiggy, Zomato, or you are using Make My Trip, you are talking to chatbots on daily basis. It shows from the stats that 74% of internet users are unaware that they have interacted with AI or chatbots. And chatbots are handling around 3 billion requests every week. If we talk about in the user frame, companies like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they took around 5 years and 4.5 years, and Instagram took 2.5 years to get 100 million users. But generative AI, we talk about, it got 100 million users in around only 2 months. So it has been spreading up like a wildfire for sure. So today we'll be talking about the area of impact in hospitality. That there are four major areas where generative AI is actually helping out the hospitality industry. The first one would be content generation. The second being analytics and insights, which we use for our revenue optimization. Third will be efficiency through automation, which really helps out with operations. And then there would be hyper personalization we'll be talking about. So if we go to content generation, you will see that there are a round of marketing teams. You hire content writers, you go out with the designing teams and everything. And then daily basis, you create social media posts, you do guest communication with WhatsApp or emails or personal messages. You write blog and articles. And with generative AI, what you can do is that you don't have to do it manually all the time. You can create social media posts, do articles, communicate with guests via automation. And then again, on the OTAs for the hotels, you can review, you can respond to their guest reviews as well. And you don't have to type that manually. You can just create it with generative AI. Also, multilingual communication is something which is helping hospitality and hotels around the globe for sure. So that is one thing generative AI can really go far with. Then, if we talk about analytics and insights, there are four major parts where generative AI can help for the data analytics and insights. So the first one being guest feedback analysis. You can relate to it via sentiment analysis as well, that whatever feedback the guest is providing to you after visiting, that you can analyze and see in a way that how their sentiment is towards your business and what you can get out of it. Then you can also go for demand forecasting, that what kind of bookings you are going to get, what kind of services people are going to expect from you when they visit next. Then we can always go for market trends. So with the help of market trends, we can analyze that what kind of services we should really focus on and provide to the customers. And then, of course, with the performance matrix part, we can look out at how we have been performing and what are the outcomes from the services we have been doing with. Then we have personalization insights as well. So if we are typically providing some services to a customer, we can see that what kind of services are being working for them and what kind of services we can really let go at a point. And then when we go to the next slide, we talk about efficiency through automation. So this part really helps out from generative AI and helps out businesses and hotels and hospitality to reduce their operation cost. Uh, like people, if you have around team of 7 to 8 people to do different things, whether replying to your reviews, creating support, then sending out notification, doing daily post, reportings, and then responding to generic questions, that all can be done with AI in a very efficient way. And with the help of generative AI, we have been doing that in our business as well, that we are replying for hotels all around the globe. We are creating the support ticket, and then we are sending the notification, including the failure part. And they get the daily reports. They can see that what kind of responses, reviews they have. So it has been very easy with the automation of operations. Then, if we go to the next slide, we'll see that there's a point called hyper personalization. That is something in the future and right now as well is going to be a really big part. Can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, I'm on the next slide for, yeah, it's taking us a little bit of time.
Okay. So hyper personalization is something which makes every guest experience really unique. And their recommendation, whether it's their birthday, their room customization, or for special occasions, dietary needs, or communication. Anything which is needed can be done in an efficient way, truly, where people don't really have to uh, demand you to it, but you already are reaching out to them for the things they might need. So that is something we can do through hyper personalization. And after like that, I talked about the theoretical part, that what we really do, but let's get some technical insights from Praful about how we can how generative AI can help on the technical side. Before that, I'll quickly go through how RepUp is adopting the AI part. So, as the company who's working in hospitality with generative AI, we have three major upcoming modules going on, which will help out with generative AI. The first one would be you will be able to send out emotion powered emails from our platform. You just have to give it a prompt and it will create emails for you. Then we have a multi-platform templates where you will get templates for WhatsApp, SMS, and emails, and the AI would be creating it for you. And then we have the upsell part where generative AI will create upsell offers and it will use your occasions, tone, wording, emotions, whatever is needed. So now Praful will be taking over and he'll take us on the technical side.
We have seen a paradigm shift from like how AI has enabled different aspects of our life, and we have seen a very transforming impact on to hospitality also. It has enabled hospitality in a very different way, and we are going to discuss it in a technical way, right? Before that, just taking a minute for how Google AI has impacted every single day. We touch 2 billion people via each of like Gmail, Google Maps, YouTube. Everywhere you might have seen the impact of AI, which being core and inherent DNA of our technology. So we'll be seeing it at a hospital level now. Yeah, Jacob, next slide, please.
Yep.
Great. So this is what the innovation, we have done it from like 2017 to so far. The public version of AI, which is being mostly known as Bard. Some of you might have already using Bard for your day-to-day lives. This is what the customer end facing. But if you see the real empower and the power of AI lies into the LLM models, which is based on transformers, which is being developed and started with Google in 2017, and all the underneath services running at a Google cloud is being empowered with that. Jacob, next slide, please.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, we can just move it to the next one. We have just covered this slide already, so we can just move it to the next one, please. Correct. So this is the something which is I will like to double click when Shruti was going through the different phases. These are the one of the, some of these, how we can summarize the information, how we can generate the content, how we can have a conversational, we can interact with our customer, and then how we can help our backend teams and operational team to create and automate are one of those, task, right? So these are some of the use cases which we have already discussed. Now, we'll deep dive into each of them. I'll try to segregate these cases into three major categories, which is transforming of the your experiences. Another is to generate the growth and opportunity, and then how we can unlock the productivity at a different level of your team's level. So when I say for productivity, it's just not about your customer experiences, but also at a backend teams, right? So if we talk around the transforming experiences, how we can better understand our end customers, how we can better understand their need and their, how we can just uplift their experiences, right? Some of these things, like, if somebody is visiting south part of the country from the northern part, a language should not be a barrier around it, right? Their accent should not be barrier around it. When they are booking through an a hotel website, the experience should be very seamless, and it has to be something which seems very curated for an end customers, right? On those categories, what we say them, understanding and associate with, empowering our associate team with their support and knowledge. Most importantly, the conversational AI, a multilingual kind of an experiences, which will ultimately lead you for a higher transaction rate, higher conversation kind of a rate, and all those kind of things which ultimately leads to a higher loyalty, which hospitality, always thrive for. So the next is something like, let's take an example what I have just speak around, what those comes into an action, how it can come into an action at your mobile device or at your website level. So this is just for an example, this is just a slide shot from one of our app which we have developed. It's something like you are on your mobile, you have an app available of your hotel or any hotel aggregator, where you just might be you don't know about much around the Hawaii. And what really happens, people rely on the reviews and people rely on to their friends and families to understand the place. Is it like might not be a great idea, because it might be very different on individual experiences. So let's be go take try to empower this particular whole experience is based on LLM, right? The data which is massively available across the countries, across the continents, across the users, and across the experiences, right? Then let's curate this particular experience into a one kind of an experience. And once a user just simply put in a query like, can you help me to plan in a 5-day trip for an Iceland at an Hawaii? Then they can start seeing in multiple places. They can have their itineraries being there. One of the best places, their path to the embedded Google Maps links, and time required for those museum tickets cost, everything is been there. So this completely changes, and you can start visualizing the things also, right? Jacob, next to this, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it becomes, once people are being into in a place or something, when we talk around, when Shruti was like, talking around personalized experiences, right? Something people are already in Hawaii might know, but somebody wants to see, I want to go for an whale watching, right? It can an n number of places people might suggest you, but let's see something where you can really spot it. What are those photographs are? What is what are those places? What are those reviews? Just on a single click kind of a thing. And even it also empowered by with your voice to text kind of functionality, where you just tap on a button, speak like onto where to I can go for an whale watching, and this just convert the text seamlessly behind the scenes for a customer, and these things start coming at your screen. So it's just a very conversational kind of a thing. So far we are not using anything. It's just a human to human interactions going happening, right? Now the second part to it, right, when we are talking around how it gonna to help your internal teams, right? So let's take an example of a front desk operational team happening. There is a high summer season where there is people are coming for a lot more into vacationing kind of a thing. There is a high guest check-in happening at your level. How in a conversational AI can understand this? It can directly contact with your main ops manager kind of a thing, and align the major team assistants on the check-in, as well as it automatically, if you just see this example, it also say, can I have another associate for a luggage assistance, right? So it automatically understand that context out of things, what is happening around you, and then help you to mitigate it very automatically. It do not have anything around having a manual kind of an intervention happening, or manpower to be required. Second, more when you move it to this, if you have support teams available to support your teams, we call it like virtual assistant. And most importantly, I just want to refrain from the word which we have used conventionally, chatbots. Chatbots are very specific to some very key specific words. Those are defined rule engine kind of a thing, where people just go with that particular questionnaires. In this, we are almost every time we are talking around the context kind of a thing. So if there is something which is not even you have managed into your knowledge base, that's absolutely okay. It can learn from the data and guide your end customers. And this is what the virtual assistants are, and any language. Then furthermore to it, you have agent assistants. So each and every time, if you have an n number of knowledge based support case available, your each and every support team member need not to know and look for, during the call, it's not necessary to look for all the database to be scanned, right? You just take an help of Gen AI and figure it out. If this is the question, this is the problem happened into the past, what was the solution given to the customer? What is the right appropriate things we can search for? From a kind of TB terabytes of data, you can just scan it through in seconds and provide a different experience to your customer. So that's how it can further assist you. Most importantly, Gen AI conversational enabled conversational platform have a capability to directly transfer your call for your human support also. So if there is something which you think this is something needs to a human intervention, it can directly transfer the call and summarize the call conversation which has happened already. So the customer need not to walk through the new human agent completely from scratch. They will, the customer who is getting the customer support engineer who is getting the chat things will have the chat summary available to them, look around it, and need not to ask the same questions again to the customer. So that's how it can changes the experience. Jacob, next slide please.
Sure.
Okay, great. Now we will go on to the second category where Shruti was explaining around how we can help to generate the content and automate translation, how we can do personalization kind of a thing. Gen AI can help you. I'll just quickly go into the one of the example which can just help you to visualize what exactly this has been happening. Jacob, when we can go on to the next slide. Something like this, right? So when you go for targeting of the customer right now, most of the time we just send the bulk of the emails without understanding the customer requirement. If we can just create something based on a slide, something like which I want to show you right now, is something like somebody is booking tickets for Hawaii. Then it's very important for us that we understand this particular data. And if we figure it out, there are n number of the people who have booked already a ticket for Hawaii at an airline. Now it's time to suggest them hotel booking. It's not right that we are sending the same things for let's have a book ticket for Goa and there is one ticket plus free. Nothing like that. It has to be uh, a more intelligent way to understand customers, right? And that all comes from the data. So if we can go on the next slide, Jacob, I will just try to show you that flow itself.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's take an example. We have figured it out who have booked all the Hawaii tickets from last day itself. And then we started figuring out the image generation kind of thing based on the customer profiles. Let's have their families vacationing into Hawaii already, sending and creating email subject lines, something like book your Hawaii hotel now, say save day kind of a thing. Let's make this perfect vacation. All those kind of things will be auto generated for you, and you can send these emails, these attractive picture and everything as an ad campaigns to your ad customer without any human intervention, right? This is all what can be completely automated, and this would be a very personalized for each and every customer. Yeah, next slide please. Now we are talking around some of the use cases which can help the productivity. I already walk you through around some of the customer service kind of a case and front end decks, how they can help you to increase your CSATs, how they can give it more time to your end customers. But one of the example, if we can go on to the next slide, Jacob, please.
Sure.
Great. Yes. So those are the examples. Something like if a customer is coming, right, what are their dietary requirements, right? What type of the record, whatever the data you have available, you can start suggesting around that, right? If you figure it out, there is a customer who is love to travel, who love to eat a kind of a thing. There are n number of restaurants into 5-star restaurant, right? You can suggest them starting, try this particular cafe which is been ranked 4.7 with reviews at a Google, Google reviews. You can try this particular food. Most of the time people not able to understand the complete offering from a hotel and from a brand. It is very important to understand each and every customer and suggest them according to that. Cafe is one of the requirement. Then you can just suggest them, what are the major points they can visit for. This is all come from their own data, whatever the data which is being available to you. Yeah, next slide please. Correct. This is something very specific to engineering teams. Each and every big brands have their some of the level of development teams available to them. What we are suggesting here with help of Gen AI, you can integrate this with your code, where it can also help you to minimize number of errors which we are doing at a level, right? We can help this something like in a platform like Cody, which is from GCP itself, which can help you to accelerate the development and release it in a better way, right? And most importantly, understanding your website depending on to the multiple geographies can help you to expedite those time to market kind of a thing, right? Any issues related to your code, it will just highlight at a bit early, right? Correct. So now, just to summarize and quickly think around taking, just I want to, wrapping up the session. It's more important to understand the Gen AI can help you to have an improved customer service. We have seen some of the use cases there, and most importantly, it would be a 24/7 kind of an experience for your end customers, right? Via targeting media post, travel vlogs, helping customers to create their writing their reviews into that. Email campaigns can help you to increase the revenue, helping your backend teams, front end teams, minimizing your marketing budgets, and help with enabling AI can help you to reduce the cost, right? Second most important part is to last but not the least is something, giving a personalized experience, a curated experience, a crafted experience, a tailor-made services to your end customer can help you to improve your customer satisfaction and having a kind of an increased loyalty for your the brand, right? This is what exactly can be done by AI, and some of the hotel chains have started using it, travel sites have started using it, and they've seen the example for it. Yeah. I'm with this. I'll hand over to Shruti for the next session. Thank you, Jacob and team. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few stats. According to Deloitte, a study, 10% revenue growth can be achieved with help of generative AI and data analytics when we use it for targeted promotions in marketing and dynamic pricing according to the requirements of upcoming customers. Same way with a study from IBM Watson, it shows that with AI solution, customer satisfaction can be boosted by 15% overall. Then again, a McKinsey's report shows that hotels' efficiency with AI automation can improve around 20%, and that leads to cost savings and enhanced services. Also, according to one of our competitors, there was a report where we can see that 15% increase in positive online hotel reviews if they use AI sentiment analysis. So as we talked about the wrap up and experience adoption of AI earlier, and then we talked about how generative AI is not here to replace human employees. It's there to rather enhance their capabilities and improve the efficiency as well. So human intelligence and artificial intelligence together is something what we are looking out to. It is not here to replace the employees. If we train our employees really well, our staff, they will be using generative AI, and that will save a lot of money and a lot of manpowers which are going to waste, and instead we can use it for something else. So if we talk about it in detail, we explore that the key benefits of using generative AI is personalized guest experience, streamlined operation, improved efficiency, and enhanced customer service. So if you want to know how generative AI actually works in hospitality and you would like to request a demo, you can reach us out to contact@repup.co and give us a call on this number. You can note it down. I'll keep it on hold for a minute. Great. I'll be sending out. So now we can go to the question ask session. If anybody has any questions for maybe Praful or me or Jacob, whoever has any question can ask them out.
Certainly. So I think this is for everyone in the audience. Please do unmute your microphone. Senthil, I hope you have given the option for them to unmute. So please unmute your microphones and ask questions, or you could type your questions into the chat and I'll read it out to you. So Praful, I think we have a couple of questions already. One is, I like the capabilities and possibilities with Gen AI, that is the generative AI. Could you guide what are the next steps to try these with our brand?
I think Shruti, Shruti has in the last of the call, I think we can request for a demo. If you just interested into that platform with how we can enable your brand with empower your brand with Gen AI, we're absolutely looking forward to it. You can always go for the Shruti if you can guide them around how we can go for demo.
Yeah, of course. As I suggested the last slide, you can just give us a call or you can just email us. About the Gen AI side, we can help you out with marketing automation. We can help you out with operational efficiency. And then we can help out with the revenue management as well. So that we can discuss in detail. You can just drop us an email or give us a call and we'll reach out to you.
Right. So we have a question from Sandra. She asks whether it's based on Opera Symphony or is it purely web related. So I do not know the background of the question, but Shruti, if you want to answer that.
I'm not very confirmed with the question as well, Jacob. But
right.
if she means that if we are integrated with the Opera PMS or something, then I can understand that yes, we are with Opera and it's not totally web-based.
Right. Okay. So next question to you, Shruti, is with the ongoing changes in guest expectations, how can AI adapt to evolving customer preferences to continue delivering exceptional experiences?
So the first answer to that would be that as we talked about hyper-personalization, that curating things according to the guests and what they could need or what they would want when they are traveling or when they are staying in a hotel. That is something we can do with hyper-personalization and then recommendation part. So it totally depends that what kind of guest we have, what kind of guest is traveling and where they are traveling for, how many days they are staying in the hotel. So that totally depends on, there comes the data analytics and insight part. So with combined marketing automation, data hyper-personalization and analytics, we can come to the point where we can see the guest enhanced experiences as well.
Right. So the next question is, what do you think about the idea of personalization in terms of being able to choose the exact specific room in the hotel? For example, you have a 3D hotel model with all the rooms, and the guest can choose the exact room for their stay. It will be highlighted in green or red whether it is bookable or not for the needed dates. Will it be a possibility soon?
Yeah, of course, it depends on the hotel for sure, but it totally depends on the hotel that if they have that kind of room, but it's available, then it can be provided to the guest and the recommendation can be done. You can choose. See, the colors are not something what they can choose, but they can choose the floor, the category. If they want something facing to the garden or facing to the sea, that totally depends on them.
Yeah, so the question is more around whether you can display a 3D hotel model or maybe the way the actual room looks like. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course. The hotels have been doing it for a very long time now. You can see it from Leela, you can see it from Marriott as well.
All right. So, so there's a next question. I think that's a generic one, Amir. APIs and all that, you don't have to worry about the APIs because we have already connected and integrated these solutions to the PMS. So don't worry about the APIs. So that's taken care of. Sandra is asking, is the data specifically for our hotel on a local server or is it on the cloud? We are concerned about data security.
Yeah, so the data is very much safe and it's on the cloud of the physical servers.
Just I want to add it in. Hey, this is Praful. So whenever we are talking around it, the tenant remains under the customer's custodian. You would be the complete custodian. The data won't be going out or not be shared with anybody, right? It would be your tenant only, right? When we talk about LLMs, when we talk about generative AI, those models are being already frozen, right? We can go into a more technical deep dive discussion with your teams, but we have to understand the data which is being placed will remain under your supervision and with your IT teams, right? You would be the owner of that particular data. The background data, which is like we are saying LLMs, those models are being already frozen. When I say frozen, there is no data exchange happen between those data kind of a thing and the data the customer is using. We just use those kind of things to empower and add more context to your data, so it remains into your project, into your supervision of your IT teams. It's completely safe and remains under the boundaries of your, even if there are data residency kind of things, it remains under the boundaries of your country or the region which you choose.
All right. The next question is RDM Chennai. Is this with RepUp software along with additional features? The question is not kind of clear. Would you like to unmute your microphone and ask so that we can elaborate on this? The idea is RDM Chennai. So while the question is clarified, there's another question, Shruti, is in terms of revenue optimization, what are the key data points and metrics that hotels should focus on when implementing generative AI solutions?
Okay, so I think Shruti will add on. Before this, I will just try to highlight few of the things which we referring to. First of all, see, when we talk around the cost optimization, it is a very periodic exercise kind of a thing. Whenever we develop something, let's take an example. We are using some APIs based on all your data requirements. A customer will always have a visibility before we start the implementation around it. Even we will be able to share you the exact TCO around the costs required for it, right? And it will be complementing the wrap up, the platform which they already have it. So it will be it will remain visible to the customer at an advanced stage. That is called an exercise of doing TCO and sizing. So that will something which we'll do. And most importantly, each and every hotel use case and requirements are very, very unique. I would suggest you reach out to our teams share your requirements. We'll be able to share the the pricing kind of in a detail if you want to start with, and the requirements and the scoping kind of a thing.
Yeah, so Jacob, for the answer by the question, with personalizing the experiences and by persona-based marketing, we can get the increment in the revenue by 17%. That is one stat. Other than that, there are few other stats we can share when we have one-to-one meeting with somebody who.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think the last question I have in the window is from Elena. Is there a demo?
Yeah, of course, there is a demo. You can just reach out to me. Here is the phone number and the email. Anybody who wants to have a demo is of no cost, and there's no cost for that. You can reach out, you can have a demo and understand that how generative AI can work for you in your business.
Absolutely. So there are two ways of reaching out. One is what Shruti has shared on screen, or if you go to ideasnext.com/marketplace, you can find RepUp. You can click, and then there is a form that you can fill with minimum details, and they'll reach out to you. So two ways of reaching out. Yes, and since you have joined late, Elena, the whole webinar is recorded. You will find it on our website, ideasnext.com/events, and this whole presentation the recording would be available on our website within 24 hours from now. Any chance to share the presentation with us? So Shruti, yeah.
We can share the presentation with you for sure.
Okay, so 1 second. I'm just typing the link for the recording. And yeah, so yes. So I think that's it for Q&A at this point. Any further questions, please feel free to go to ideasnext.com/events. I've mentioned the link in the chat for our marketplace. Also, I'll share the link. You can go there and have a look and reach out. Right. So these are the two links that I've shared in chat. And Shruti, the next slide, do you have it, or do you want me to share it?
Yeah, you can share it, Jacob. That would be great.
Sure. Hold on. All right. So thank you, everyone, all the speakers, all the attendees, for attending this interesting session. The QR code that you see on screen is for you to supply your feedback for the webinar, for improvements that you feel. And how did you like this session? It'll help us a lot in streamlining and fine-tuning this in our subsequent presentations. Thank you all once again for your time. Should you have questions, we have given you the contacts. Please reach out to us and we'll get back to you. Thank you again. Thank you all.